Again, it's wonderful to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Me too. So let's begin our journey with this. Before we get into your work and peel back the layers, 6 years ago, this pandemic changed so much about our lives. How did you
hmm
get through that era, and how has it changed the way that you work and live today?
Wow, what a good question. Okay, so in 2020, I was pregnant with my first daughter. And so that alone was a whirlwind. I don't really know the pandemic without being pregnant. So it's kind of like it was all a whirlwind of change in my life. But as far as I knew, I've been in the fashion industry for 25 years. And so I've always been in physical fashion. So designing, styling. I had a store on Melrose. And so one blessing was that my store on Melrose was one of I closed it 2017 and I was glad I did. And that was where the riots happened in California, where people were breaking into stores and everything. And I even saw my old store like on the news, just like, oh my gosh, that would have been me. And so 2020 came. I knew that there would be a shift in fashion for me physically, like just where I was in my interests. I wasn't interested in selling things anymore. And then I saw the shift of confidence in women greatly around that time as well. And that's when I started building my whole other part of mental health with fashion and seeing there was always something there for me that wasn't right. And that's when it exploded. And it gave me the time, right?
Yeah,
2020, we all hunkered down.
yeah,
And it gave me the time to sit there and go, what is this message? And what is bothering me so much about the fashion industry? So I think that
yeah.
is
Well,
what
that make
changed.
that makes sense because especially with the female mindset, like the levels of fashion and just like photo shoots and those things are so they rehab so many things. They make you it's different between men and
Yeah.
women with that.
Yeah.
So it makes total
Yeah.
sense. And now and the pandemic really shined that light on mental health. We didn't talk
Yeah.
about it a lot. It was one of those things where it wasn't understood. Now we can have open discussions about it.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. And in like, male versus female too. Like I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, people like men are pretty like satisfied with their closet. Like the pandemic didn't really shake them, right?
yeah,
When it came to like, oh my gosh, like what do I do with my closet? But women, it was more like, what do we do? We're not shopping, we're not that. But that's actually when, for me, it all slowed down. And that's when I started to fall in love with my closet more because I was actually using what was there and seeing what was there instead of like frivolously trying to reach for more.
yeah.
So that was a very interesting shift too.
Speaking of shifts, talk to me about what you're doing now. And to do that, I want to put you in front of 13-year-olds at career day, and one of the kids wants you to synthesize your day job to make sense to their brains.
Okay. So, oh, this is a good one. I need to think about that a little bit. Okay. So day job to a 13-year-old. So I help you buy less and feel better about yourself with the clothes you already have. I help you not be so pressured by outside voices, by the industry, by influencers telling you you need more, 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 more. And I help you find what speaks to your heart in your style and what you truly desire. And I help you find those pieces or lead you in the way to buy stuff that would speak to your heart instead of what influencers are telling you what to wear. And then I also teach you ways to just use them in multitudes of different ways that you're getting most out of them. And that's what really makes us creative, and creativity feeds our mental health and it makes us joyous. And I just let you walk lighter in this life of image and style, so you don't feel this heaviness of pressure around you.
But it's an American mentality, though, almost of more and more and more, get. Like it's
Yeah,
always about getting it. But really, at the end of the day, it's that whole adage of anything that you really want is right in front of you. Like you
yeah,
said, looking at your closet during the pandemic, like all of it was right there. What are you
right
going to do
there.
with it? Right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
about creatively coordinating things that already exist.
And most of, like we're being taught, I mean, most women or men, who knows, but we're being taught to wear this one outfit one way, maybe two different ways, and then that's it. And then we look at our closet as, yeah, we don't have anything to wear because we're wearing these same things over and over and over. But I can go into a story, but what really shifted for me is I didn't buy clothes out of an experiment for 2 years. And people would think that I normally would be going crazy, but I actually fell in love with my closet more and more because I learned how to wear that one shirt 20 different ways, those pants 10 different ways. And I learned how it was a whole ecosystem of creativity and self expression instead. And I paused all the outside noise, that was telling me I needed to buy more. And I could not believe the shift in myself that, I mean, I was in fashion. I was a shopaholic. So to
Yep.
tell me that I wasn't like, didn't need a shopping spree after 2 years is bewildering to me.
Yeah.
And so that shifted everything I teach now, which is what I call fashion wellness. And yeah, it's more about understanding what's our, like taking a pause. Like,
Yep.
let's pause about all this outside noise, all this shopping. Let's see what's actually in there and the magic you've already chosen. There's magic in there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what did you want to be when you were 12 or 13? Was it always fashion?
Oh, no. I wanted to be a nurse because I was sick a lot as a little kid and I
Yeah.
thought nurses never got sick. And so I was like, oh, I'll be a nurse. Then I'll never get sick. But I didn't know that that was wrong.
So are you originally from Southern California?
I'm originally from Northern California. So California
Okay.
girl through and
Okay.
through.
So talk to me about the seeds that were planted early on. What really ultimately
Yeah.
led to this career in fashion and everything that you've done up to this point?
Oh gosh. Okay. So when I was little, I'm just very creative. And I think the one thing that has always been true in my life is self-expression. I think my parents could say that I was a very expressive kid. And so, going into, I think high school started, when it started being like, oh, I'm kind of into fashion and oh, my friends are into fashion. But I was like a Gap girl, like Gap, Abercrombie and Fitch, J. Crew. That was like our town. So it's not super creative or expressive, but it was there. The interest was there. And then I went to college. I went to Long Beach State and they did have a fashion program. So I was still interested in it, but I was interested in more like the marketing buying side of it. I didn't think of design and all that. Mostly, I think the thing that came out of college was that I was on a very slim budget, like $5 Little Caesar pizzas, $1 Costco hot dogs. And so but our friends and I would go out a lot to parties. And so you had to start getting creative with what you wear. You had to start switching things up, accessorizing differently. And I think that's the seed that got planted. I then moved into fashion design at school. So I started to design. So that started moving things. And then I went into the fashion industry and I was a designer, a stylist. Like I said, I had my store on Melrose. And what really started this whole dive into women's confidence and fashion was it was in my Melrose boutique. And I would see women come out of the fitting room looking gorgeous. And I'm like, oh, they look so good. And they would just stand there in front of the mirror more often than not and go, I can't wear this because of my arms. I can't wear this because of this color. I can't wear this, blah, da, 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 da. And they would leave without the thing. And I would be like, and this would happen over and over and over again. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is this a thing and a common thing? So then I went in this deep dive of women and confidence. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is how we've been taught to be insecure, so we buy more. Like the industry wants us. They say they're helping us, but they want us to be so insecure, so we buy more. And then so the seed started. I wasn't sure how I was going to go about it. I knew I was like, I need to help change this somehow. This has to change. And then, like I said, I closed my store, and as a experiment, I was like, I still have my Instagram. What if I just don't buy clothes for a year and see what kind of weird outfits I come up with, and I'll post them on my Instagram. I wasn't that challenged, so I did it for 2 years. And at the end of the 2 years, like I said, the biggest question to me was, Casey, what are you going to buy? What shopping spree are you going on? Like all these questions about buying. And I sat there and I said, wow, I don't really want to buy anything. Like maybe some underwear that got worn out,
Yeah.
maybe some like little things, but it was all of a sudden my shopping was very intentional
Yeah.
and my mental health was better. I was more confident. Had didn't feel frivolous when it came to buying, didn't have the need all the time. And I go, oh my gosh, this is what every woman needs to know. They don't need to buy more to be more. They need to buy less to be more. And now I'm on this journey. Took a long time to formulate like what I teach now.
Yeah.
And I say I'm on a fashion wellness revolution. Like I'm sparking a fashion wellness revolution. We're going to change how women feel.
Yeah.
And what I speak on now is like to reset the ritual. How you go to your closet. So you go normally with angst, overwhelm, anxiety, and like, let's take a step back. Let's go with gratitude first. Let's go with how we feel about ourselves and our bodies. Like, let's start there. Let's erase all the outside noise. Let's get you a healthier relationship with how you start your morning, because you carry that throughout your day.
Yeah. Well, and I also think too, you're going to save money. You can pick up new
Oh,
things, new
yeah.
lifestyle habits. If you're not out shopping or worrying about it or surfing the web or doing whatever, you can
Mm-hmm.
exercise, you can paint, whatever you felt like you wanted to do. It opens up the store, and then you have the money because you're not spending it all, right? It's this
Yeah.
brand new cycle, eco cycle of life.
You don't feel like you're in a trap. Like I honestly, when now that I'm out of it, I look at everyone in this like hamster wheel, still going, and like everyone looking the same too. So like the two things I really say that come out of fashion wellness is one, self-expression. So you're gonna dress more like you. Like everyone, I kind of teach about how we all were kids at once and we all had like this love for dressing up and we felt powerful and just the weird, silly things we'd wear. And we lost that. Yet we have the biggest dress up box still in front of us that makes us we can be anything, we can, feel any way, but yet we lost that magic.
Yeah.
And then, so when you can create that magic and, like you said, lose the heaviness, oh my gosh, my world opened up so
Yeah.
much for other things, better energy.
Yeah, for sure. Who's been that inspirational force in your life that's allowed you to have this foresight, to have this new vision of how you want to live your life and this happiness? Is there a hero or an inspiration?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. My grandpa has always been my guiding light. He, no matter what types of doubts that everyone else in the world had or my parents had about what I was doing in my life. I remember my last conversation with him. He was saying, I believe in you. And he was an entrepreneur too. So he was like, I believe in you. I you have a good head on your shoulders. I think you're just going to go far. So I just keep him in my guiding light. Ultimately, also my dad was an environmentalist. We were like the ones, like I feel like now it's not that odd to wash out your Ziploc bags and maybe reuse them, but as a kid no one was doing that and we would do that. And I was always like so embarrassed, but I was like, I guess this is what we're doing. And now people are
Yeah.
like, wow, that's really cool. I'm like, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And so my dad was an environmentalist. He wrote rules and regulations for air pollution. And so every like thing mattered about the earth to him. And I think that always stuck with me. And I think that's why I had a hard time in fashion and design, because I always felt like I was pushing people to buy things they didn't need or that were like not, especially with fast fashion, how it's not great for the earth. And I was like, I don't know, something is friction in me. And I think my dad really always, was there with his environmental side. And then my mom's just a badass. So,
Yeah.
just following her.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anybody in the fashion industry that you would love to meet and talk to? Anybody that intrigues you?
Oh gosh, yeah, so many. Ultimately, I think I would love to meet more thought leaders, like because that's kind of where I am, like Mel Robbins and Michelle Obama and stuff like that, like the thought leaders of just forward thinking for women. But in the fashion industry, my favorite designer was Alexander McQueen. He passed 10 years ago now. But he was always just so unique in what he did. I would love to meet, I never know how to say her name, Emma Garde. Emma, I always forget
I
her name,
think I
but
know what you're
she's,
talking about. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. People say that I remind her of her, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
But she's just a powerhouse, and I think has a really good head on her shoulders. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of a lot of powerhouses cannot have a good head on their shoulders. I just really love when powerhouses also seem just so real and can see the biggest picture for everybody, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. What is the energy for you every day to do this work that you're doing? You're doing work that's literally changing lives, but you have a soul that you need to take care of. So every day
Mm-hmm.
you wake up, what is that motivator for you to do this at a high level?
Oh my gosh, that's a really interesting question. I like your questions.
Thank you.
um, so I have two little girls, which is really hard to sometimes switch from mom mode to, power mode.
Yep.
But then I also think about so waking up in the morning, doing my stretches, doing my kind of like meditation. I really try to do the thing where you don't touch your phone for the first half an hour and make it be yours. I feel like that's really been great.
Yeah.
You get sucked into everything too much,
Yep.
when that happens. And then mostly the mornings really are rush, 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 or kids coming into my room and this and that. When I can get them off to school to their places, I just like have my coffee, regroup, come up to my desk, look at everything. I have a lot of boards and vision boards. And ultimately, I think it also comes down to knowing that I'm doing this for my girls. Having two girls really, I came up with this message before having girls, and then now having two girls really, it's my why. It's the reason I see them as the future. But really, what motivates me is well, them and to know if one person can just hear this message, even that's good. Because sometimes I get too in big picture, like saying I want to create a fashion wellness revolution, right? It's like,
Yeah.
but I'm like, okay, Casey, just like I had a friend say, just open your mouth. Don't worry about it being big. Just every day, open your mouth and say something. Like say it out, And I'm like, okay, so like bit by bit,
Yeah.
bit by bit.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, the one thing about life is there's somebody that sees through everything and they see us for who we are. Who was the first person that did that for you, that made you believe that you could achieve this success? You can become who you are today. Did you have a moment like that early on?
I think it was my grandpa.
Okay. Yeah.
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 I think it's for him to look me in my eyes and just because whenever I have any doubts, I think back to that moment and I'm like,
Yeah.
we can do this.
So speaking of that nostalgic realm of your life, if you had a dream tonight, you ran into the 18-year-old version of you. You walked into the room and there was a film projector and you click play and a 60-second highlight reel of your life came up. Would that young version of you believe your life turned out this way?
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I'd be like, what? Like,
Yeah.
that seems really scary.
Would you have any advice?
Um, I would just say take day by day.
Yeah.
Don't get too wrapped up in things that don't matter. Um, I don't know if I have any advice. I don't know that I would change anything. I felt like all of my experiences led up to this moment in time. I would say, oh, yes, then that's what it is. Keep going because it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I have jumped from job to job in the industry and I was like, can I not keep a job? I mean, like I wasn't getting fired, I was quitting and I was just losing interest. And I was like, can I not keep a job? Like, what is happening? But I realized I had to jump from all the little parts of the fashion industry to make sense of this right now. So I would just say, like, I know it doesn't make sense, but put one foot in front of the other, go with what your gut says, follow it, and one day it will all make sense.
So on that 60-second highlight reel, what's the highlight? What are you the proudest of? What are you the happiest about?
Um, that's love your questions.
Go
These are
ahead.
fun. Um, I 18 years old. Uh, I won nationals in cheerleading. We won nationals in cheerleading. I we won best of show on our college. What do you call it? College fashion show over the seniors. I was a junior when I won best in show of that. Multiple jobs that led us to have experience with high-end celebrities, high-end events, small events, even that were more meaningful than these high-end events. Experiences like Burning Man and festivals and traveling to Hong Kong, and like in Africa, it would be a very adventurous highlight,
Yeah,
and it would be very joyous. And I would also think, how did I cram that much into all of these years, which I
yeah,
hope I still continue to do. So,
absolutely. So let me ask you this. Everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, everyone that knows you in different realms, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
mm, I think I just have a lot of integrity, and I really want people to feel my whole core mission and my whole core being really wants people to feel more ease and confidence in themselves, because I feel like when they do, they treat people better, that they make better decisions. Mental health can mental health and confidence and ease in your body and joyfulness will just make the world better. Like right now, I just want to hug everyone because everyone is so jarred, and it's making the world with rash decisions like hate, like all this stuff. And if everyone could just pause and like calm their body,
Yep,
we would make so much better decisions. And so, like,
absolutely.
yeah, I think ultimately that's how I view myself: integrity, caring about the world and humanity as a whole, freaking joyous and energetic. Like, I always say I'm the energy igniter. Like, I'm here for it, and I love people. I just love people and what
Yeah.
their stories and who they are.
So if anybody wants to dive into Wear Joy, any of the wonderful work that you're doing, where's the best place to go to do that?
Right now, I would say Instagram. It's
Okay,
Wear Joy Project, WEAR, Wear Joy Project. I am just decided to start a podcast,
awesome.
and not so much interview style, but micro episodes, 5 to 15 minutes of me like just blessing goodness into your closet. And
Yeah.
so I would say look out for my, sign up on my email list for when that happens. I'm hoping in the next month or so,
Okay.
and then just follow along on Instagram for now.
Okay. I will put
That's where
those.
we're at.
Yeah, I will make sure to put that, make it easy, put it in the show notes. Casey, this has been wonderful. Thank you for your
So
vision. Thank you
wonderful.
for your work. This has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
You bet.